What is going on, everybody? Kevin McCoy here with the Like-Minded Investor. Today, I do not have a camera on. I am not at home, so I do not have a camera with me, but I am here. I am putting out an update on price. And no, this title was not clickbait. I would love for us to catch the bottom as a community, not just guessing, but with actual data behind it, backing it. Um, so yeah, let's get right into it. If you do not remember, or this is your first time watching the video, we got this zone from simply pulling. I mean, there was more reason to that zone, but simply pulling from the low down here all the way to the high up here. And as you can see, 786, 886, that means 80% pullback in price to 90% pullback in price. All right, that's what that is. That's the strongest supply demand zone in the Fibonacci level, and that's where we got that. But we are going to go deeper. All right. First, I want to point out, okay, in the entire history of price, you see these little candles, right? Little candles, little candles. This Bobby, he's supporting price, right? On the growth up, support, support, support. Well, then we launched on 4 exchanges in 1 week, right? Price ran up. Now we're trading down. But look at all of these candles. Everything but the huge moves up. Everything's kind of small. This was a big push down, that big white one. That was a massive push down. But other than that, everything's tiny. And this little area here, this is that $14 million Bobby was talking about. All right. He tried to push price up and he kept meeting resistance at a clear $4 level. Right. And then finally the market took over. He said, let it crash, let it burn, let it play out. Look at the difference in these candles. This is how the free markets move, you guys. And this is exactly what I explained in the other one. He didn't mean let the project crash and burn. He meant let price crash and burn. Because there is a bigger picture of this, and it's building a mine. All right. Without the mine being built, the layer two, my personal opinion, it's not going to take off. It's not going to explode. Once the mine is built, you can throw anything on that. Anyway, let's go to price. So now we are trading, right? Now we are trading. Look at the difference in these candles. It's completely different than all of this little jibber jabber. But anyway, price came down, all right? And it produced this huge move here. Now, I know price is down, so it doesn't seem like a huge move, but let's just measure this from the bottom, right, to the wick, to where price went before it came back down. 136% in 3 days. Name a stock you can do that in, right? And then at the top here, 96% in 3 days. And now we are coming back down, but we're still at 66% gain if you bought down at this bottom. But that is a blind buy unless you know how to read charts. But now that we have this push down and it pushed down into that 80 and 90% demand zone, I have a thing of interest. All right. Now, what I need to happen, what we need to happen, 50% of this candle price more than likely is going to come back down to $1.04, $1.03. Can it go lower? Yes. Why? Because you have a high, you have a lower high. This hasn't made a higher high yet to break structure to tell me the bottom is in. That's how this whole thing works. You look at this. Oops. You look at this. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. You also have low, lower low, lower low. What we need to happen and what must happen is we come down and we hopefully bounce here. That would be nice. And then make a higher high than both this high and this high. All right. That is called a break of structure. This structure of a lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. You now have the first indication off of this bounce. We have a higher low. That is the bottom, right? But is that the bottom? We're not sure yet. There's also this price imbalance over here I want to show you guys. Way back in the day, right? Price never came back to this massive candle. And in the markets, Price more times than none always comes back to fill a price imbalance. See how this one filled the very next day, came back down, ran back up, and then we ran up. This one did not. Price has never come back down here. But look what just happened, right? Just below our zone, just below our zone. So if price doesn't bounce from here, if we can't get a clear bounce from this line here and move to the upside, then more than likely we are going to print a new low, and then we need to rebalance in here. And the same thing we're waiting for to happen here with printing a higher low than this high or than this low, we also need to happen down here. So price would have to come down, come up, print a higher low than the low it just made, and work its way out. So my price points, and I actually have these set in my exchange already. $1.04. I have an order there. I also have one at 68 cents. It's about in the middle of the 78 to 62 cent zone. But if you invest half there, right? If you were to invest all of your money there and it comes down here, you're already 23% negative on your money. You know what I mean? That's why you do half and half. Do a little here, sprinkle a little here. Because then if you enter here, by the time we get back here, you're up money. Makes sense? Also, this is not financial advice. These are investments that Kevin McCoy and the like-minded investor make as a business. And I am just documenting it for both TXC purposes, my business purposes, and educational purposes. Like you can layer this on top of your own analysis and what you think is going to happen. Make an educated guess for yourself. All right, I hope everyone had a blessed Christmas. Hope you have a safe New Year's. I will be back with update videos. I will not just put these out and not return. All right, when price gets down to certain levels, another video is going to pop up. All right, I'm very excited to be a miner, fellow miner of your guys's. Thanks for the subscriptions, the likes, the comments. I really appreciate the love. This is why I record this stuff and put it out. I hope everyone has a safe New Year's. God bless.